I would agree. They could try for it again, though. They didn't even, I don't know if they went for the scouting drone, which might have been nice against Zeratul as well. I don't know if they went for that in the end. Either way, Hots and Lady get the next map choice. They are taking us to Infernal Shrine.
Solid. We've seen relatively few map choices on Infernal Shrines today. Like, yesterday was all over the place. I think we had at least 3 to 4 games on this particular battleground. Today, it's a little bit less. Both teams not really super comfortable on it. However, KT, they have a slight edge, I would say.
They do. They have won a single more games than Hots Lady have. So that is cool. Also, coincidentally, if Hots Lady win this game, then these two teams will have the exact same statistics on this map. 2 and 4.
That's very true.
So there you go. Little bit of on-stream math that I can actually work out because I can add 1.
Well done, my friend. Well done indeed.
Yay.
Now, we saw Kerrigan being utilized by Wukong Gaming specifically. Tetcher, what would you say is Kerrigan's spot in general right now? Infernal Shrines used to be your best battleground by far, yet none of the teams really pick her anymore.
I think Kerrigan belongs in a Wukong Gaming draft, and I think that's it. I think that there's very little comp that Kerrigan should be in, that the job can't be better done by Sonya or Malthael.
Okay, fair point. Fair enough. Absolutely correct here. Now, Genji's no longer available, and I dare any team in China to let this year go through again.
It'll happen again. They'll be like, you know, it can't be that bad. We're surely Miss Maria. Oh god, it's terrible, please.
Now, Oriel being denied as well could have been a solid first pick for KT. Alternatively, they can still guarantee themselves the Uther if they really want to. No, they go for the Dahaka, global pressure, global mobility, and deadly drags. I dig it, quite literally.
Hey, well played. You did it. You have done the pun. So, we see Rhaegar as the start. That is a Pommy pick. Cool to see. Still not getting to play that Morales. Sad times. This would be an okay map for it, but either way, this healer is too good to pass up. Just means that they don't want the Uther, though. They are going to either give that one over or ban it out. And Uther with Dahaka, very good combo together due to the just crazy amount of CC that they can offer in a fight.
Yeah, really solid indeed. Rhaegar, of course, also great when it comes to shrine control. He can go for Lightning Bond. An absurd amount of wave clear provided for his support. Greymane, of course, is really good at that. The Doggy Brothers make it back into the draft together. Really solid.
Really solid indeed. So, KT, what do they want? They have the Uther as an option. Would they want to pick that? Or are they not concerned about it being banned at all?
I want to see perfect shrine control for KT. No, I want them to pick a hero that really excels at that. And I think those could be a Kalthus. I know I've been saying this every single time I play on or the teams play on Infernal Shrines, but I think Kalthus, if you watched Soa before, if you watched them yesterday, it just brings so much to the table that I generally don't understand why other people weren't watching Soa's games and they were like, you know, that's actually really good. Let's do that ourselves as well.
You know who has really good shrine control and we're not going to see in this game despite how much I want it?
Go for it, Gaslo.
Cho'Gall. Also Gaslo. Both would have been acceptable for the acceptable answer for that. Both of them have crazy shrine control, but unfortunately we're not going to see him. Cassia is going to end up the ban here.
Now the Illidan being taken out of the equation. No Cassia either. And if they wanted to go Cho'Gall, that is Hots Lady. I mean, with the second best support after Oriel, they would have to pick it now, but they're not going to do it. No.
Yeah, they'd have to pick it now. Cool. They would have had to pick it now when KT still had both of their assassin picks left with Tychus and lots of other giant killer heroes. Would have been an easy counter pick. This is why I said it's not going to be picked, unfortunately. But either way, we have Tychus and Sonya coming in. So Tychus, very nice shred through that Arthas if you can get the full minigun duration on him. And Sonya, ultimate shrine control.
Yeah. And also sitting on a really solid 60% win ratio here. The Sonya, that is. They go for the double support. They saved it until the very end. Very sneaky, very cheeky. But I'm pretty sure that Hosley suspected something along those lines. Like, there is a reason why they picked the Sonya here and the Greymane. That's great poke. That's great shrine control. And I really want to see... you know what? I would go for a Varian here.
Varian
or Diablo.
Going for heals.
Yep.
Varian does seem to be becoming a bit more of a go-to against this double support every now and again. Only rarely, but it does pop in every now and again. Issue with that is you are against an Arthas, so that can struggle a bit. Other options, there's not a huge amount of range CC. Diablo could be good.
No tank trading at all.
Into that back line. Stuns is the issue due to the fact that you're against an Uther, which is why ETC is also potentially not viable. Running low on non-CC tanks, so Tyrael is probably quite high up there now, just due to sanctification for the Sonya.
Yeah, true. The shields and sanctification could work on the Sonya, but I don't like the fact that you would have no lockdown at all. A Nubrak, of course, works as well.
That's so boring. I would prefer ETC over that at this point. Just
First of all, exactly. First of all, it's a little bit boring, but second off, I'm not really sure if I feel the Anubrak here. True, the Cocoon can be great, but against a Tassadar, like, his auto attack alone is going to shred that Cocoon so hard. I would have really loved to see a Diablo here, or as you said, even an ETC or a Varian could have worked. Yeah, Stitches was still open. Could have got a good combo with that. You had several options. I still would have preferred the Tyrael. That would have been my #1 option. The Cocoon, yes, in theory, should work very well on the Uther. Remove that Divine Shield, which is of course a big pain and a very high focus, so viability for that, which could have had the same effect if they gone for Stitches. Yeah, so don't get me wrong, guys, I don't think Anubrak was a bad call by any means, because Anubrak in general is still very, very powerful, but I'm a little bit worried about the Cocoon value. It's a good pick, but it's so... there's nothing special about it. They're not actively seeking anything here. They're just like, we'll take him because he's good. It's very white bread with a splash of butter for me. It's not exciting. There's nothing else on. Right? You gotta put a little bit of salt on that to give it a little bit of taste, you know? Bread and butter? Dude, give it a try. I do not kid you. On it. Peanut butter, jam, jelly, I don't care. Put something on it. For now, though, guys, as our sandwich talk comes to an end, we're going to get to game number 2 of Hots Lady versus Katie. Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the battlefield, the Infernal Shrines, with Hots Lady on the left, Y on Tychus, Pommy on Rhaegar, Lias on Sonya, Meng on Greymane, and Carlo on the Anubrak. And their opponents being down 1-0. We have KT with T-Die on the Uther, Neptune on Dehaka, Fury on the Tassadar, Seeing on Vala, and Butcher once more on the Arthas. And by the way, I just want to say this. Bread, butter, and salt on top of it. If you haven't tried it yet, go for it. I will experiment. For now, though, we will explain. The Anubrak is good here. The stuns, of course, brilliant. They are going to proc Guardian of the Ancient Kings, though, which is a bit of a problem and makes the Anubrak slightly less value. Damper Magic against Valor would be nice, but there's a lot of auto-attackers in the form of Arthas and also Valor herself. So it gets a little bit less value there as well. Like I said, it's good. There's nothing special here. There's nothing. It's very much picking it because it's good. The Burrow denied there, finally able to use it. Yeah, really solid. Check out Tassador's build, by the way. We see something that we haven't seen all day today, in fact. We see the Psi Infusion build. So it requires Tassador to hit as many targets, non-heroic targets included, with his Psi Storm. And once he completes the first step, he's going to have a longer radius around, and then, of course, more damage on it. And, of course, for the final step, he has a longer radius or a bigger radius about it. Really solid. Exactly. It's very cool. If he can get some good value out of that, especially if he takes the armor reduction talent, you can get some really good value out of it. Yeah. Lias,
drop in some siege damage with that smash.
It's huge. Sonya against the Haka. That's quite the battle here. Both heroes have excellent self-sustaining capabilities. In the meantime, though, we have Vala Sea here falling victim to that onslaught here. In the meantime, though, we see on the opposite side another counter gank, but Lias is none to fall that easily.
Yes, he shall survive. He shall tank through it for the moment, and as such, First Blood going over to Hot Lady with no response, other than Sonya having to go back to base, who misses out on no XP because of the quick rotation via Nubrak. Very nicely done by Hot Lady, getting themselves an ever so slight lead. The kills, however, at this stage don't offer a huge amount, so it's just a little bit.
Just a little bit. There we go. Meantime, we see Sonya activating the shrine. It's going to be a purple arcane punisher, by the way. Those are always the deadliest to get, and thus I would actually assume that both teams are going to fight very hard over it. Now, level 4 has been reached as well. Kala's Light for Tassiter. No lifesteal on the shield. Instead, he goes for the 10 armor after it expires or it gets broken.
That's fair enough. We'll see how well that works. Sonya with potentially the highest value whirlwind that I have ever seen due to being against Arthur's, who is roots and slows galore. Yep. And of course, it's the 1 second cooldown reduction on the whirlwind, so even more sustained as Sonya spinning through that point.
Yeah, spinning to win here for some time, but Carlo not sharing such a good fate. He goes down, and when the main tank falls, with the enemy team still being in tip-top condition, you need to evacuate right now. You need to go back to the side lanes, keep up the soak, apply some pressure elsewhere. It is very sad for Hot Lady that Carlo actually died, because they were in a good way. They had 25 souls, or 25 skeletons already. So close.
They were so close, but then unable to wade back onto the point by the looks of it. Greyman is too far away for the rotation, and we saw KT were too high up. So KT grabbing the first Punisher of the game, and that's such an XP lead. They hit level 6 first, not a talent advantage, but it's a little bit of extra XP and a little boost in power.
Exactly. That's the cool thing about Infernal Shrines in general, guys. It's a very cool map because you can't really snowball out of control. You never get the feeling that when you lose the first 2 objectives, you're already out of the game. That can sometimes be the case in other battlegrounds. Most of them are not in the HGC pool for that specific reason. But here in Infernal Shrines, everything's possible. You can just soak elsewhere. The Punisher dies very quickly. Can you remember back when Infernal Shrines was brand new, how strong the Punishers were, Tetra?
Hated it.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone hated the map. It was, it requires too few souls for starters. The Punishers are too strong. The Arcane one just murdered me. Oh dear, it's so snowbally. You just get everything. And then the pro players were like, Blizzard fixed a couple things. Everyone was like, oh, yeah, this is good. We like this.
Exactly.
It's the one we're going to play forever.
It's actually really funny. Like, we've had this phenomenon multiple times in the history of Heroes of the Storm where a new map was introduced and released, and at first it was completely bonkers, really crazy, but after a couple of tweaks by Blizzard, they turned those maps into an absolute pleasure. Well, guess what's not going to be a pleasure for Fury here? He falls to an assault from Hot Lady. 4 heroes are way too many for even Tassiter to survive through, so he was lights out. But the same went for Towers of Doom, right? When Towers of Doom was released, everyone hated it with a passion.
Yeah, now it's fun. Everyone likes it. It is a good map in general. The Blizzard map making team have just been on point for except for Hanamura. Either way, before I open that can of worms,
it's getting better.
It's getting better. They're working on it. This is what we like to see. Butcher getting subbed up. Beautiful cleanse. The hand of protection from T died just instantly after the city would stop moving.
Yeah, T-Type flexed his muscle for a while here, just instantly throwing down that cleanse. Beautifully done. And no value from a Nubrek in that moment here. For now, though, both teams relatively even in terms of XP. KT tries to maintain a nice control here in that bottom lane. They really want to make sure that Dahaka gets additional split-soaking value in. Sonya joining the fray. It is now 5 people on the side of Hot Lady who are trying to get that shrine.
Yep, Sonya grabbing lots of skellies, moving down to help her team though, because there is a bit of a scuffle. They found a Butcher. Butcher is armored up though. No guarding the Ancient Kings though, not getting the value from that considering how much CC. That is weird. The hand of protection is good. Lias gets killed off by the multi-shot, and down goes a noob as well.
Jesus, that was a lot of damage by Sieg. He basically had free reign there because everyone on the side of Hot's Lady was so low. And that's a weakness that Anubarak has. He isn't the tankiest of warriors. If the engage fails, if you can't lock someone down and force them to retreat, you're going to get shredded down by the likes of Vala very, very quickly. Imagine having a Diablo here, or maybe even a Turiel. They would have had way more time to actually survive.
In Anubarak, by the way, hitting this plating at level 7. While Hardened Carapace is active, and you are taking taking damage from enemy abilities, reduces its cooldown by 1 second.
I always wanted to hear. Can you do me a
Sorry.
favor and repeat the pronunciation of Arnoob's level 7 talent? Because I always wanted to hear a native speaker pronounce it.
Chitinous plating.
Okay, I always said Chitinous, so there we go.
It could be chitinous. It very much depends on the locale there, but I pronounce it chitinous.
Okay, Chitinous. I will save that as a new file in my mental memory because I was always saying Chitinous. There we go.
Yeah, enough. So we're seeing KT moving in with this Punisher. Neptune finds a Tychus.
Oh boy!
Might just murder him here with the help of Tas. Carlo is in position though, and as such, Y will escape.
In those moments, as a Tasserer, you wish you had chosen Force Wall because then that would have probably been a safe kill.
Yes. So, Anoop's making me slightly happier. He's gone for the Locust Swarm. Drop that in the middle of a Tychus army of ghouls, and you are going to have so much sustain. Let's see how he's able to use it. Going into the backline. Beetles are open, giving him all that sustain. Lias gets Ancestral, stays alive. Trying to move to the backline as we see Arthas dropping low. T-Knight also dropping low. Can they finish it? Sonya looking for the chase, but the slowing from Arthas is potentially too much. Good stun by Carlo, though. That's exactly what they needed. T-Knight taken out. Butcher falls as well. Carlo will fall. But
also low.
Still a 2-for-1. It's a 2-for-1. Can they turn it round? Oh, that was risky, Lias. Was that a bad call? Was that a bad call? Seeing one. Could he go for more? No, not going to take the risk.
The beauty of having a Vala with full HP in those team fights, it was just beautiful. So much value also from Uther's Spirit, healing everybody full up, and Hot Slate, of course, they had to struggle, they had to suffer from all the damage they had taken earlier. And so far, I gotta say, despite losing team members every now and then, KT always makes sure that they get at least 1 or 2 heroes in return, making it an even trade. So well played on their part here. A lot of heroic abilities were used in that fight, but they should be back for the next major engagement.
They should. So, Hot Lady find a Butcher and decide to also attempt to find freedom as they run away. Tassidar's getting a really doing a good job stacking from what I've seen. He's been landing a lot, but we haven't seen the alert saying that he's done yet.
Exactly. So for now, he only gets the larger radius. It can be seen here right now. Palmy gets caught by the Holding Blast. This could be huge, but the slow there, the slowing totem, really getting lots of value. But Neptune has a say about it.
And it's a huge kill onto Rhaegar with 0 reaction available for Hot Lady. I am being informed that it's apparently pronounced chitinous. That's fair. That sounds about right as well.
There we go. Chitinous.
Yes, I have also learned pronunciation. Once again, you learn from how you are taught, and enough people have said chitinous that it is apparently more viable. So I'm going with that.
Here we go. You learn by playing video games. Beautiful.
938. He's so close.
Oh.
Storm more things. Tas, get back here. Storm the objective. Minions will do, I guess.
Monsters or map objectives definitely count towards that as well. And the last thing that KT wants to have happen to them is, of course, getting caught, isolated, and losing team members just when they're about to finish the shrine. But it looks like Hot Slate is content with what they've got so far. They stuck to level 13. Actually, they're waiting. That is so smart. KT is waiting until they can A, disregard the enemy mercenary camp pushing in the top lane, and B, unlock their own Fallen Shaman camp, so it will apply additional pressure elsewhere. So that was double smart, if you will, on the side of KT.
Now the chat is telling me that I was right this time. I don't even know. Neptune getting focused down. Run away, Neptune. Good burrow to dodge the stun. But there's still too many heroes here. Drops isolation. Buys up some time. His team has arrived and they're trying to turn it round.
They try to turn it around indeed. The Iceborne Fortitude was used by Butcher. Army of the Dead is still available though, and only the isolation and cooldown. That's definitely something that KT is fine with. They still have 37 skulls left. They need to take care of this top lane now. Actually, they don't have time. They need to secure it right now because Hot Slate is forcing the issue. There we go.
Tas is stacked. Objective taken by KT. What can Hot Lady do about this? They move back, not get killed for starters. They find a Fury, dimensional shift, able to get him out, and Butcher zoning against everyone else.
Army of the Dead was popped. It's a nice healing tool, but of course immediately Hot Lady was disengaging the moment they saw it, because they can't afford to lose anyone here. They can't even afford to waste time, because the Punisher will basically shred your base in the process. Carlo, he's making it. Whew. That was important.
Indeed, it was very important indeed, as the Punisher moving in. Tychus, there was vision of him for a second thanks to Tassadar. Nice dodge with his dash.
Really
as such, Punisher is pulled in, front gate will be taken out, but a good chance the keep will live.
Yeah, the keep is definitely going to survive for now. 16 not there just yet. In the meantime, the blue Fallen Shaman camp in the top lane for Hot Lady reigns supreme. Not really sure how much there is still left alive here, but it's definitely going to get the fort. Keep in mind, guys, Fallen Shaman camps are amongst the most dangerous mercenary camps in the entire game. If you leave those unattended, you're going to lose structures. Even keeps can fall.
Yes, they can. The one thing it cannot do is damage the core. The Impalers can outrange the core. Fallen Shaman, though, really is too short range and just walks into range and dies. So, not the really good camp for pushing, not the best camp to try and end a game with.
Exactly. That's very much a good description of those. 16 here now, we see Benediction for Uther. We see the double storm coming in for Tassadar. It makes a lot of sense when you already maxed your level 1 Sign Fusion talent. So now you're going to have bigger storms, you're going to have more lethal storms, and you have 2 of them. That's really, really big power spike for Tassadar.
It really is. You can see him using it there, sieging out those minions, dropping them low, so the Impalers, all 6 of them, begin clearing that up. Now, Uther could heal these, and he isn't, and I wish he would, because they could get so much more value. Instead, they're just getting wrecked.
Yeah, the Haka trying to get some value in the top lane, Uther preferring the heroes over the mercenaries as the healing targets. But they can siege this up now, Thatcher. They can use Tassadar's range and the damage to really apply even more damage onto those forts and keeps.
They can. The keep shall survive, at least for the moment. And they haven't really gained a huge amount on the map while this is happening, to be fair. Like, the Haka's soaking, but other than that, they're not doing a huge amount other than just trying to siege with Tassadar, but they're not using the storms on the structure, so I don't know.
I mean, they might as well try to get this Punisher now. Unfortunately, it's the strongest lane for Hot Lady. There's still a fort standing. That's going to buy a little bit of time. You should never defend those, by the way. In the late game, just let those forts fall, guys. It's not worth it. They die too quickly, and if you lose your lives here, that's definitely going to be a guaranteed keep. So, that fort is basically non-existent despite being on the map.
Yeah, it can be killed off super quickly, so that's not an issue at all. This Punisher will just wade through the top fort without any trouble.
Okay, they tried to go for a gank here, I think, on Carlo, the Anubarak, but they do not get it. So they wasted a little bit of time. I think they're now going to try to get this fort before the Punisher has to actually use his fists to do it. Gets a little bit more time value, gets a little bit more HP value on that Punisher as well. So, really solid rotations by both teams. In the meantime, look at that value in the bottom lane for Hot Lady, Tetra.
Yeah, they are going all the way right now. They're going to cut off this front wall. The question is, how much further will they go? Uther's already come back along with Tassadar and Valor, the double support assassin. Coming in, Happy Cloud Brigade, roll out as the Haka comes in from the side and drops the isolation onto Sonya. Looking to try and blow her up, but... Oh no, she couldn't see because the isolation and tried to mount up. But she gets Ancestral though. They're going to try and turn it around. It's a full 5v5 fight as the noob comes in, gets the stun with the Impale. Rhaegar is dragged there. Pommy, get into Wolf Bomb. He is fine. He's able to move out into a safer position. The Divine Shield keeping Valor alive as she wades forward. The Odin dropping some slowing sieging as they retreat out of here. Lias is looking for the turnaround.
Tassadar died. Valor says goodbye.
They get the second. In comes the Nubarak. And Hot Lady shredding this fight, but Carlo will not die. Oh my god.
How in the world did that happen? I didn't even see Tassadar die. Now the Curse Bully connects, and that is kill number 4. Hot Lady, they might have done it again. They might have won a late game team fight, and for the most part, it was KT in charge. They even now maintain an XP lead. How did this happen? I want to see a replay, please.
I don't know. I assume Tassadar died to Cocktail. It's so hard to see as Hot Lady moving in for the core. It's Butcher to save the game for his team. Tass will be up in 16 seconds, and he is the soonest. Butcher doing everything he can, but he's just one Lich King, and that is going to be GG. Hot Lady taking the series in a 2-0.
I I feel so sad for KT now. Twice in a row, they basically had this game in the bag, or these games in their bags. But in the end, I don't know what it was. Like, not paying attention, or going for the wrong targets, getting a little bit too reckless, ahead of themselves. Something always went wrong, and HOTS ladies, they're now the laughing victors.
Yes, they are. And KT, kudos top. They looked good. They should have maybe won those games, but HOTS lady, late game control, able to take the game in their favor. Very nicely done, and a good job. And I have learned it is, in fact, pronounced chitinous, according to every result on Google ever.
I can totally see Tetra looking it up sneakily so nobody would get the idea of it. But I love it. Chitinous, we can remember that. Thank you very much for enlightening us, Twitch chat.
I've learned.
The almighty Twitch chat.
Being a caster.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was unfortunately our last series. We still have to wait to see who's going to get crowned MVP. And unfortunately, we also have to inform you that this is going to be the last week of HGC China during the second phase. So, Tetra, can you believe it? Like, it's been such a quick ride, right? But a fun one.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun. But we are not done completely. Ladies and gentlemen, for starters, if you stick around today, I believe Kendrick is going to stream. So you should absolutely not go anywhere. Yes, you should not go anywhere. In fact, you can't go anywhere. You are physically trapped to your chair right now. Hypnosis. Somehow. Look into my eyes. You see they're not blinking? That's because you're hypnotized. But you see the... Kendrick will be streaming, so you guys should stick around for that. And you should follow the channel so you can tune in to the last day of HGC China, which will be coming up tomorrow. The games for that will be HOTS Lady versus Wukong Gaming. Can Wukong take another game and make themselves like 14-2 or something like that? E-Star versus Soa. Soa's last chance at taking a sneaky win off one of the top teams. RPG versus KT, gonna look to extend their lead. And of course, the main event, Super Perfect Team versus CE for the #1 seed in HGC China heading into the Eastern Clash.
We can